Nietzsche's last.
All right. For our project, we had Friedrich Nietzsche. I think that's how you spell his first name. But John's gonna start it off with our bibliography.
All right. To start off, we got the life of Nietzsche. All right. Friedrich Nietzsche was born in Prussia in the town of Rauken on October 15th, 1844. He lived with his father, mother, and his sister. His father died early. His father died when he was 5. Although somewhat hard, Nietzsche was able to still find success very quickly. He enrolled in the Sculpforta prep school, thanks to scholarship here at age 14. Nietzsche's education. He planned on a study of religious life. He was rather well educated in religion, and also extremely educated in German literature. But his setback was he suffered bad migraines when he was a little young, and it kind of affected him when he grew up. Later education. He graduated from Sculpforta and continued his studies in theology and philosophy. He soon dropped theology and transferred to Leipzig school. It was a school introduced by a composer who influenced him the most in I don't know how to pronounce that school. Schopenhauer. Small break from schooling. He went to the war in 1868 to serve time in the army, but again his time in the army was cut short with illness. He finally recovered, but didn't decide to go back to the war. He decided to go teach at the University of Basel in philosophy at the age of 24.
All right, Joe's teachings. Along with Nietzsche's teachings, and he did some traveling, I consider, most people would consider that it is his most influential time where he developed his philosophies, and he wrote his 9 books, which I'll get to. He began to teach at Basel, and he was forced to mainly focus on philosophy, where he developed his philosophy, and he got a doctoral degree. He was actually awarded a degree in following years without any examination, which was a big accomplishment back then. But yet again, as John was saying, he was very ill, was forced to leave for health. Friends of Nietzsche, he met Wagner, who was a big part of his philosophies. While in Basel, Nietzsche became very close friends with this composer, Richard Wagner. For the next couple of years, they spent a lot of time together and returned to Basel to continue their teachings and philosophies. Here it talks about it talks about his books. Nietzsche began to get the feeling of unsatisfaction, and he started to feel that working was useless and questioned the drive of Prussian culture. So this is where he started his writings and publications of his 9 books, and most popular was The Will to Power, and explains philosophy. Philosopher will get into all the details. The end of Nietzsche's life, but not his influence. Since he was, as we said, very ill, Nietzsche's life began very unproductive when he was forced to live in a mental asylum. While his cause with a witness man whipping a horse caused him to break down and cry finally of a mental breakdown. So he spent the last couple of years in a mental asylum, and his health wasn't too good, but his teachings will continue to, we still read them today, and still develop on them.
All right. A major focus of Nietzsche's was his views on ethics. Throughout most of his life, he studied philosophy and theology. So he had a large portion of the time not only looking at his own faith, but the theories and ideas of many religions and their beliefs on ethics and morals. So that was a large portion of his life. With that, I guess his view on ethics wouldn't be really considered ethics at all. It would almost be like an anti-ethics. He began to realize that in earlier times, human civilizations, all that, found a need for right and wrong and this concept of a higher being and all that to help them develop into what they could possibly be, but they soon became, as humans, we soon became very resourceful and capable of many more levels of accomplishments and further development. And these common ideas of what is right and wrong, or a higher power, and what humans were actually capable of, Nietzsche felt that they became to feel unnecessary or almost holding us back. These ideas developed into his firm belief that the ideas of right and wrong was no longer needed in society. Not that there wasn't such thing as right and wrong, but to focus on them, to focus on what we should and shouldn't do, we basically held ourselves back from our true potential and what we could actually accomplish as humans. This fear of right and wrong held humanity back from developing skills to becoming what he considered almost a higher being, capable of things that in religion and all that were said to be impossible. Ethics overall. Overall, Nietzsche found that humans needed to open their eyes to an idea that right and wrong shouldn't hold them back from what they're able to do. He found if we accepted this, we could become a superior race capable of much more than we are now. How Nietzsche hoped to change ethics. The idea of this anti-ethics was a way to bring humans to their full potential, as I said, rather than hold us back. But in his time period, and a little after his time period, he was unfortunately, I guess, misunderstood by someone who we all know, Hitler and the Nazis. Took the ideas of Nietzsche and somewhat twisted his words and ideas into the no morals, no rules, and the superior group to be the Germans and their philosophies. So, as we know, for a long period of time, Nietzsche's ideals didn't really work out. And I guess overall, the idea of his no morals and no ethics could really work out to allow us to further develop our society into something where we no longer look at the limitations and boundaries that religion holds us from, but if we misconstrue it, we can kind of take that superior being to the wrong level, like Hitler did, and use it as a way to say I'm better than everyone else, which is not what he was kind of going for. And lately, that's kind of what it's looked at. But that was his view on ethics.
All right. So another big theory of Nietzsche's was not metaphysics exactly, but his response to metaphysics. But much like our good friend Ayn Rand, he rejected metaphysics, in fact, and instead embraces this new theory that he called eternal reoccurrence. In layman's terms, pretty much what eternal reoccurrence is that life the way we know it happens until death, which, shocker, but then we are all reborn again. The catch is, though, whatever happened in the first life, whatever emotions, feelings, whatever, will happen in the following lives at the same time as it did in life one. So if you're feeling, say right now, you're feeling a little tired, in your next life, you're going to feel tired at the same time. Nietzsche stated that there will be new in it, and he's referring to the lives after life one, but every pain and every joy and every thought and every sigh and everything unutterably small or great in your life will have to return to you, all in the same succession and sequence. The eternal hourglass of existence is turned upside down again and again, and you with it, a speck of dust. So, well, that's pretty much the complicated version of what I just gave you, but again, when he says every sigh, everything unutterably small, everything's going to happen again, same time. So with this being said, Nietzsche obviously views this decision-making as an essential because he implores us to make good decisions, because instead of just having to deal with the effects of the decisions now, you're going to have to also deal with them for all of eternity. So to demonstrate this theory of eternal reoccurrence, I have a little game called Eternal Glory or Not. So, we're going to do two players. So here are the rules. The player, we're going to do Probably just one time now.
I was gonna say, do you wanna just hold it until we come back?
Yeah,
or-
sure.
We can just start the
I
game.
mean, we can just start the game, the class, next class with the
Alright.
game, so that we don't
Yeah.
shortchange it.
Alright, that's good.
I mean, it's up to you.
No,
That works better, yeah.
then we can get two people, because I wanted to do like two.
Yeah, you know, let's have some fun with it. Let's
Yeah.
don't feel constrained.
All right.
Beautiful. Hey, thank you to